Alright, let's get back into it. I don't know why I switched scenes there, but that's alright, doesn't matter. Let's get back to it, I think. Try and finish off this case today. Got 2 new followers. Thank you very much to 2 of my old friends for giving me a follow. Alright, let's... Alright. Come on, sit there. No. Good. Alright. There we go. Thanks, Iron Man. Alrighty. Let's actually get a lolly now. Man, this is just not wanting to cooperate today. There we go. Alright. Back to it. Alrighty. I've got to start by finishing this conversation and then making it to the detention center. That was a close one, huh, Mia? It's Maya. Really? Too bad. I'm sorry I missed it. Maya! So, what happened? Hey, bro, how you going? Well, I think I've got a pretty idea who did it. It was Cruella de Vil. Now, all I need is a motive. And proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, which is bullshit. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. But what happens if you haven't finished it, right? Does that mean that the person who gets accused gets automatically found guilty? Well, we've no time to waste. Alright. Let's talk to Powers. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Yeah, let's just skip the... Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Just skip the trial. Skip the trial. You may as well just punish them. This should just be a punishment. No, let's not make it a punishment simulator. That would probably get me banned. Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Though there's not really anything I can do to help. Ha ha ha! I'm not sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Alrighty. Could you tell me more about Cruella de Vil? Or Miss Vasquez, as she's called. Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and... And what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumours anyhow. Oy. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Yeah, he's a creep. He's the literal worst of the internet in human form. Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director. Yeah, no kidding. But something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Sal Manella. He also has a shitty name. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. Yeah, straight to video. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Nothing sus. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago. Yes, doesn't sound suspicious at all. Oh man, old bag. The old windbag sure is quiet today. Is that because she's choking on a donut? You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick, I think her guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. You eat, you die? Whew, she's alive. Alrighty. Let's see what you have to say. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way. She seems bitter. You think? Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Sal Minella, the director? Sal? He's soft, a pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. I wouldn't doubt that. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No. No, it doesn't, Maya. Oh, man, she's going to start gushing. About Mr. Hammer. Ah! I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer. You drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it, calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh. She's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Powers' costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. I doubt that. Alright. Who's here this time? Penny? I guess they're not filming today either. Well, I did want to see them filming just one time. You do realise that one of the key characters is dead, right? And the other one is in prison? What exactly can you film without the two main characters in the show? This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you found the bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there are any other clues lying around. Yarr! No touching. Eek! Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. I think you frightened Maya more than me, but sure. Didn't mean I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatic at times. I suppose it's the actor in me? I mean, I've never seen him act. But okay, sure. Dramatic indeed. Ahem. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. Alright, let's see what other stuff you can give me and get demoted for, Gumshoe. So you're looking for tracing of sleeping pills how? Traces of sleeping pills how, I should say. For a thorough examination, I got to take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capability to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. Was it Bill Nye? This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, it'll change colour. Wow, neat! Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Okay. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed colour, alright. So the food on this place has been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Of course. Alright. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. It's because he's innocent. I feel kind of bad for Edgeworth, though. Yeah, of course you do. You love him. He is your best friend. How is Edgeworth doing anyway? Oh man, he'd be so grumpy that he's losing. Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed his paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. To be fair, also letting burning hot coffee touch your hands. Cups, bottles. Say, whatever happened to that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. Yep, he certainly did feel the burn. So that means, yep, sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Sleeping pills have been added to the court record. Alright. Moving on. Who's in the dressing room? Penny! Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yeah, they'll probably fire him. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of The Steel Samurai. What? No! Makes sense. I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Ooh, intense music. Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set then? What do you mean, the last Steel Samurai? Oh, poor Maya's so upset. I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No, no! Also, I heard that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids will be fine. Yes, I'm sure they will be. It's just a TV show. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. You do realise she's just like a set assistant, right? She doesn't have any power. Alright, let's present Path to Glory. And this is... a fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just because just so some adults can save face, but they're the people who pay for it and will lose their jobs if they don't. I would think you would understand better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? She just agreed. Okay. Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Ms. Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Hammer. And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Ms. Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. But then she let his career be ruined anyway because he started doing crappy kids' TV shows. You know who knows more about this? Ms. Oldbag. Oh, great. She was here at the studios back then, you know? Yeah, I'm assuming she was born here and she'll die here. Thanks. We'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Oh, especially because she doesn't like us because of the sleeping pills incident. What, you're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old wingbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? From the sound of it, the producer. Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Man, you need to get her tested for rabies. Maybe we should keep a safe distance? Yeah, in case she bites you. Alright. 5 years ago. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Wee. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Huh? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols? That assistant we talked to? Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that. And the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun. No, it's not fun, but it's still the truth. No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole his costume? I have proof. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Sleeping pills. Ah, take that indeed. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills. With Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? The steak. Is this another take that? I hope so. Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes. So? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. I believe wrecked is the appropriate phrase there. I see. Poor, poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Man, it sounds like she's like related to him or in love with him. Ms. Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Ms. Oldbag? You're right. 5 years ago there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. Yeah, yes, in fact it could be both. That would be awkward, but not outside the realms of possibility. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. Man, I hope it wasn't with concrete shoes. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand. Poor old Hammer never meant to harm anyone. Ms. Oldbag? Hold on a minute. Poor Ms. Oldbag. Here, take this. A photograph? Where's Nickelback? Wait a second. This is the picture. This is the trailer in Studio 2. Hammer was supposed to fight a bad guy on top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. 5-year-old photo. Alright. Okay. Yes, I know the date. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. Alright. Hey Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello. Hello even louder. Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. Man, you're a Fruit Loop. That's all she had to say, apparently. Take that. She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well, old bag. Of course, old bag. Old. She means the security lady, Ms. Oldbag. Like, man, how does he need to be reminded of that? Right. Anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. The huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind? Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more. Inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. I mean, if Admiral Akbar was here, he would be yelling real loud. You came. Well then, what was it you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kid shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? Exactly. We cannot repel firepower of this magnitude. I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh, I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Liar! You pulled all those puppies out of the sack, didn't you? Hugh Laurie and that guy out of Harry Potter, who I can't remember the name of, they're both in jail now because of you. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And I think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think, what would it be if it wasn't just an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me ruin his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. Yes, she was. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hand. She did. Gave him a few bruises too. Yeah, I would assume that. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys? Oh, damn. Super intimidating. Alright, so I guess it's our turn to wear the concrete shoes? Who are they? Professionals. Yeah, that's right. We've walked right into their trap card. They're very good at they're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? Man, which one of these dudes is Arnie, and why was that movie made? What? Goons, hired goons, indeed. Do you reckon they have the Sigma? Is that their car? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. Damn. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No. Hold it right there. I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez? Yeah. Well, yeah, right. You can't forget, was it Bethany? Bethany in the boot? D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Gumshoe to the rescue. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then. In court. I'll be looking forward to it. Yeah, but I have like main character plot armor, and you've got villain lack thereof. So, I'll win. Just spoiler alert. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry, I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. What is the opposite of plot armor? That is a good question that we need to develop a name for. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick? Looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? Well, D. Vasquez. Yeah, I was going to say that's fairly obvious now. Alright, let's save. Alright. Rabble. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Sometimes I wish I had a webcam just so you could see the deadpan. Good joke. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? How is she allowed to smoke inside? Oh, no, it's all good, bro. Thank you for the offer, though. D. Vasquez, I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down. So to speak. Very important to add those last three words. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Mr. Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That is all. Or that's all. That is true. Gotta save costs on animation. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. Man, he drove you like 5 centimeters. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with that monkey's head toppling over. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. The day of the murder. Alright. Noon. 12 sharp. Went to Studio 1. She was tired. Took a 15-minute break. T-bone steaks. Alrighty. I object to that. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Yeah, but where's her bone? That was... Didn't think that sentence through, but the point still stands. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. See? No bones. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't put it past Salmonella to eat them. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez during her break? Arguing with Hammer. Meeting the Steel Samurai. Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Chew the bones. Yeah, she does seem unhappy. So happens when you lie in court. Perjury, kids. Don't do it. Order. Are you saying yes, Your Honor? As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. But hands are full of cigarettes. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh, yes. The samurai spear. There was no blood on that. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? You couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? Rabble, 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 rabble. What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Is now, after like me yelling at this for like, what, 2 days, that this is that there was no blood on it, that now it's relevant? I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through, but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this, through the chest? Or, you know, the fact that it had no blood on it at all. Although I guess if they didn't want to raise the, maturity rating of the game, maybe that's why. Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Take that. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? Yes. If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what the weapon was that used to kill Mr. Hammer? Yes. It is the photo, because she killed him the same way Hammer killed that other person, whose name we never found out. I'm afraid your confidence can be sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. That's not true. Very well, let us see this murder weapon then. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order, order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended, but today's the last day. How can you suspend it? Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photograph of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again. And that's why Cody was so upset. Because when he fell, he got stabbed in the chest and died. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. It's just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? The old, ironic murder, indeed. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? There you go, bro. Ho ho. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of the argument, that Mr. Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at the Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to studio? Really? There was a van. And returned to the trailer in all the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. Also, not ironic. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. I really didn't think I'd need to spell this out, but apparently so. I guess it adds gameplay, doesn't it? Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. And the crowd goes wild. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, right? Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? That is the part. No, the important part is the fact that she said it was fun. I'm pleased she thought it was fun to have an innocent man accused of murder, which she committed. So, what happens next? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost. Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez? So it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? And the crowd goes even more wild. Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again! I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all that there is to say. Or, I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You would tell more lies. You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. To come so far, only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Edgeworth comes in with the last-minute save, apparently. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honour. I didn't? What? How does that work? Alright, sure. I see. Very well. Your Honour, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honour? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth? I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes. Talk about no plan. Indeed, verily I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realised that she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? Yeah, it's about... Yeah, he is very serious, bro. About as serious as Heath Ledger. After all that, Edgeworth. Alright. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Wait. No. You done effed up, Aaron. Creepy dude had the script in the studio. He left it on the chair. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Yeah, and then get the mafia to kill us. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. After finding the body. Yeah, go straight to the... Where's the script bit? Here. Press. The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. What? Very well. Miss Vasquez, please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Think, if Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script here because there wouldn't be a rehearsal, don't you see what that means? Yeah, she knew the murder had happened. She would have to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, what you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have any explanation? Well, he's not really helping you. He realizes that Powers is innocent and he's trying to get the correct verdict. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness shall change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scene, so I left them behind. He wasn't the one injured, you dumbass. Where is the correct photo? Not the guide map. Where's the photo? Oh, here we go. Present. It's a court that's designed to tell a story in a video game. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Man. Dumbass. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Because she only had the photo. I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. We just used the photo to present that. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too, when he was pretending to be Powers. Oh, he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, and when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Ms. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order. I will have order. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Because that's how they get away with it. Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? But Powers had no motive. Like, what exactly is Powers' motive to kill Hammer? This was never established. Why is a motive only relevant when it helps the person who's guilty? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can prove it. It's the photo, the 5-year-old photo. I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. Take that. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? Again. 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom, good burn, his guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me, and I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Man, same. Yep, my policy as well, never get rid of useful men. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. Alright. She had no motive, because she murdered him in self-defense. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs, in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez, and then frame Powers. What? What? More rabble. Do they let just an audience attend court here? Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking it was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him for 5 years. Oi, she's mad. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, no. How could this... It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No! Please, please don't die. Please? Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Yeah, you do. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. Yeah, because she's going to get the Mafia to get her off. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Well, it's not really a miracle if it's the truth. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found is only natural, not a miracle. That's what I said. Except, far less eloquently, and I made a billion mistakes reading it. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Confetti! Again, I don't quite understand why they allow confetti in the courtroom, but okay. That is all. This court is adjourned. It is not that miraculous at all. It is just the ability to allow a lawyer to essentially be a detective. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Mas Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Lawyer/detective, yeah. Yep. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because he wanted the fame back. He wanted the little kids to love him rather than boo him. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids' show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. Alright, bro. I probably won't be streaming when you get back, but that's cool. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Yeah, he wasn't allowed to. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. That's going to be an awkward conversation. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick? Edgeworth. No, Edgeworth. Say something, right. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No. I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Yeah, that's right. He wouldn't watch a kid's show. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Only because I ruined your perfect record. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Man, they'll get ya. Them feelings will get ya. Unnecessary feelings. Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. Well, then just make sure you don't take cases that I'm going to represent the client on. Feelings are boring. Yeah, I'll give you that one. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright, was that guy your friend? Kinda, maybe, but not really. What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? I assume this guy is a reoccurring villain. For now, we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? They were lovers, I'm guessing. He's kind of he's in the beginning. But I'm on game 1 of 3, so things change a little bit. And so the curtain closed on another trial. You also have to understand, bro, this is like a visual novel that's an anime, so it gets really crazy. They do both have excellent hair. Yeah, they would. Their kids would be glorious. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Wait, but the Pink Princess was Salmonella's idea. How is he not being punished for being an accomplice to murder? Whatever. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're going to watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? Man, still takes me back. We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Oh, come on, you could have said Penny. She has a name. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? Wait, what? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. Man, only if it's Sabretooth. Will Powers can only be unmasked on screen if he is in fact Sabretooth. I've said this multiple times. I don't know. Classic murder with no consequences. Yeah, you're right. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. No, he'd make a great Sabretooth. He's like built for it. Alright, the end. Case number 3 down. Case 4 to go. A brand new episode has been added. Oh man. If you like crazy trials and witnesses, wait for this one. Alright, let's save it though. We're now up to day 1 of Turnabout Goodbyes. But I'm not going to get started on that one now because I will not be able to get through all of the investigation because this one is a bit of a long one. This one will probably take me a good week to finish. Not a week in terms of a literal week, not in terms of a week's worth of streaming. So yeah, that'll be a fun. I enjoy this one though. It's pretty funny. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone for watching. It's nice to get some consistent viewers. Thank you both to Pete and Brewer for the follows. Really appreciate it. And until next time, again, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.